Hi and welcome back to another episode. Today I'm back at my mate's garage, Chris, and we're here to give you a quick progress update on the Virago. So without further ado, before we get into the details, we just want to give you a quick look around it. Enjoy. Okay guys, so as you can see, quite a bit of progress made on the bike. It's beginning to look a lot more like a bike now. So in the last video, when we left off, we just put the engine back into the frame, and as I said, he's done quite a bit since then. Chris, do you want to give us a quick rundown on what you've been doing?
Yeah, so since then, the next job was rebuilding the forks, putting all the new seals in, put also progressive springs back in to firm all the front suspension up because it was quite soft. It is 20-year-old suspension, so we upgraded all the springs.
And you've had those. They're the original forks as well, aren't they?
The original forks, we just had the bottom, we've had them powder coated.
Yeah.
And all the heads and everything's been powder coated. And then we've just moved on. We've put new suspension on the back from Hagen. We've put M-unit electrics and a module in for the main frame for all the indicators and starter, and
I can see you've got your Hagen shocks on now.
We've got them on now. I was underwhelmed when I got them. I was excited about getting them.
You was underwhelmed?
But yeah, because they came and I was like, yeah, here we go. Unboxing them, thinking, here we go. Oh, aye. And then you open them, you just think, there's shock absorbers. They're just shit.
There's nothing worse when you pay a fortune for something for the top of the range and you come and you're a bit.
Well, that's exactly what it was like.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping my wheels, when I get them, I'm not going to be exactly the same.
Yeah, no, you will. Touching on the wheels, so what have you done? Obviously, these aren't.
So the wheels that are on it.
These are not the original wheels. These are just what
these
you've
are
been
original.
the bike on.
These are original wheels. They're just these are like what they call, I think, mag wheels, don't they? They call them mag wheels.
Just for building the bike on.
These are just for building the bike on. The old wheels, we've actually still got all the rims, all the old rims here. So we've been down to Central Wheels down in Birmingham. They've took the hubs out of the wheels and they're putting new spokes in. This is a 15-inch rim for the rear, and we're going to 17.
17-inch.
17-inch.
So that's going to be quite a difference.
And I think, what is this now?
So what are you going to do to accommodate that? You're putting a shorter profile tyre on.
Yes. Yeah. The actual roll of the tyre, the radius, and is going to be more or less the same as what it was all along. And the width of this rim.
When you say more or less, is that more or less in your favour? So it'll show eventually it's done less miles than it's actually done.
Oh no, it'll be all well. Yeah, I don't know that. This is a 3-inch rim as well, 3-inch width.
Yeah.
And we're going to a 5.
5-inch.
5-inch. Yeah, so we're going from a 3 to a 5-inch rim. The original tyre is 140mm wide, and we're going to 160.
Right, so it's significant, isn't it?
Oh, it's going to be nice.
Are you going to have any clearance issues with that?
No, we're all good. I've checked all the clearances.
It's going to be really tight near your swing arm and.
Oh yeah. You know, as long as it doesn't touch, we're all good. Yeah. So, it's going to be clear just on the width of the tyre.
Yeah.
And we put everything back on the bike, all the bits that have been powder coated. Foot pegs. It's all original foot pegs. It's all original brake gear. It's all original gear levers. But it's just all been refurbished, all been repowder coated. It's all been powder coated.
Yeah.
Carbs. I don't know if you can get some pictures up, but I've got some pictures there of the carbs when I first got the bike, and even the engine, and it was grotty. And now they've all been fully refurbished. Vapor blasted.
You've changed your direction on this bike a couple of times, haven't you?
Yes. We originally were going to start with the tank we were originally going to use was off at XS. I think it's XS 400, Yamaha XS 400 tank, which is up there, and yeah, we were going to go down that route, and I even had a seat made. I had a seat made for the rear of the bike and everything, and then once we started moving along with the project, I just went, no, this is. You change your mind, don't you?
Yeah, but when you change your mind, it costs money, doesn't it?
It costs money. And by that point, I'd already bought a petcock, the petrol cap for the top of the tank.
Yeah.
I'd already bought all the bits to fit the tank to the bike. And adjusted the tank as well, welded different bits to it, made it fit.
But sometimes the mistake a lot of people make is
maybe not stopping and going.
Not stopping, and they'd have carried on with that, and they're gone and invested too much time and money into it and carried on, and then they wouldn't have been happy with the end result.
That's it.
And if you go into this length, this extent, you've got to be happy with it, haven't you?
And now the tank that's on it is from a Suzuki 750 from 1975 or something, and then I've made a rear cowl that goes on the bike.
Yeah.
I was trying to complement the tank so that it all flows through the bike, and hopefully you can see that what I've been trying to achieve.
Yeah. So obviously next the bars. What have you done there? Obviously you've custom made everything, haven't you?
Well, there's been a few bits custom made. The risers themselves have been custom made.
When you say custom made,
we just basically got some bar, put it on a lathe, and turned it down
them yourself
to the height, because I wanted low profile. Yeah, we turned them ourselves. I wanted them as low as possible.
Yeah.
And all the ones I could find online, they were all too high for me. I wanted a nice low bar. I wanted that low look, as low as possible. And then the bars itself, they're just off. I think they were just off eBay. The actual bars.
eBay bars.
eBay bars.
Good old.
But
eBay.
they've been powder coated satin instead of gloss.
Right.
And then because they were scratched to hell, because I had to obviously drill them all out for all the buttons, all the Moto Gadget buttons I've got on there.
Yeah. What are those buttons? What are they for?
So
it may sound like a silly question, but
so the buttons they all control your start, your left,
all right. So
all your
literally
indicators,
just
your horn.
Well, that's sweet, that isn't it?
So they're all billet aluminium or something, all milled out, and obviously all the wires run through the bar, come out the end, and so it's all tidy. It keeps it all tidy and makes it look cleaner.
And working around the front, what's this headlight you've got on it?
So the headlamp
doesn't look cheap.
It wasn't cheap. I don't know what make it is. I got most of the stuff. A lot of the things I've bought have been from a website called Cafe Racer, and I think that they're based in Holland or Belgium or somewhere, and that's where a lot of the parts have come from, even the clocks. So you'll see just below the bars there's one in the centre in front of the tank. That can be used for your speed, your revs, trip monitor. I'm just using it for the speed. And then the one above, the actual old classic analog dial, if you like, I'm using that for the revs. And then that'll also do my indication, my neutral signs, my trip computer.
Speaking of indication, you've got the bar end LED indicators.
I've got Kellerman ones. I think they're called Kellerman.
Yeah.
And I bought them, and I think I'm going to change my mind and go with Moto Gadget ones. I think the Moto Gadget ones will look better. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to try.
When you say look better, you can't even see they're on there.
The actual bar end indicators.
Subtle, yeah, the ones you've got on now.
Well, the Moto Gadget ones, they don't stick out as much by about probably 5mm.
Yeah.
And they also the bigger the diameter, so they sit up better. There's no step against the mirror. Right. So the frame of the mirror, what's clamped to the bars, there's actually no step from the indicator, and that's what I don't like. I don't like that step. That's the so therefore I need new indicator.
All in the detail.
Yeah.
So following on from indicators on the back, you've got these two LED jobbies as well.
Yeah, we've got two, like the indicators, and they do tail light, brake light, and indicators, and they're Kellerman as well.
A general rule that I go by is I don't generally talk about cost.
No, we don't need to talk about
cost. Are you able to share how much you paid each for those? Or
well, each.
Rather not say.
I'm not bothered. each indicator, tail light, whatever, they do everything.
Yeah.
They were just short of £100 each. each.
Wow.
They're worth every penny though, in my eyes, because and the quality as well, and hopefully they'll last. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But then you see, you look at the them lights and they're £100 each, but then the one on the actual cowl that's in the back and recessed, that was only about 30 quid, 35 quid.
Thing is,
so it's not about the price. It's just about what, in my eyes, it was about what looks right on this bike. That's all I'm trying to achieve. I've got an idea, even though it's evolving all the time, I've got an idea of what I want it to look like. And unfortunately, if it costs so much, it costs so much, and that's it. I mean, I've been doing this build. Granted, I haven't been really doing it in the summer when we hit summer, but I think it's going on 3 years now I've been doing this. And a lot of that's down to cost as well.
Yeah,
and time, yeah, you got your kids, you've got things going on, you want to go on holiday.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you justify spending a fortune on a project.
There's been a good couple of times where I just think, I wish I hadn't started this. And in a way, because you get so far down the line, and you've spent a lot of money, and you still haven't had a bike, and you know it's. But we're getting there now. We're getting there. We're pushed on.
I've always said the hardest part about doing a long-term build or project is staying motivated with it, because you know how many unfinished projects do you see for sale on eBay? Absolutely countless, loads. Because it's an easy thing to fall down into the trap of. People start things and they just don't finish them because they find they've either not got the time or they're realising the true cost of it. So to actually follow it through and come out the other end, then it's an achievement, really, isn't it?
Well, we're not there yet.
But we're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
Okay, so after looking around the bike, I noticed you've got a regulator rectifier on this. Can you tell people exactly how they work?
Yeah, so what happens is you've got, when your bike's running from the stator, you get three phase coming from there. It goes to your regulator rectifier, which then changes it from AC to DC, and that goes to your battery to charge your battery and power up all your things on it. But the new regulator rectifier I've got, it's come from America, and I think the whole idea behind these, I think like digital ones, is that if anything was to go wrong with the actual electrical system from the bike, it doesn't fry all your LED stuff on the bike. So the old ones would fail.
So what's the difference?
Close, like fail solid and blow it. Where these are supposed to.
Were these not fused, the original electrics?
They were fused, yeah. But with LED, it's more sensitive, I think.
Yeah.
So because it's more sensitive, you just need. You're updating all the electrics on it with all these nice lightings and things, but really, if you want it to be safe in terms of not breaking,
if it was an upgrade,
you want to upgrade everything.
Yeah. If it was an upgrade, you wanted it.
Well, there's someone I work with, and he's doing a Cafe Racer build. He's doing an XV 920 from 82, and he's doing a Cafe Racer, and he's looked into it and researched it, and he says really you want to get one of these rectifiers. So and the whole idea
it's a far more sophisticated system than the original.
Yes. So everything is like all your buttons on your bars. When you press a button, you're just switching a neutral. You're just making a contact with the neutral, not a live wire. So there's less things to go wrong. Yeah, in terms of getting shorts and things like that. And there's no fuses as such. You've only really got an inline fuse from the battery to the actual unit.
And because everything's LED,
no relays.
You're not going to be drawing
no
much.
Relays. It's all solid state. So there's all that. There's a lot more benefit and reliability to the. Hopefully, I've never used it before.
So one other thing, you told me you're upgrading the discs on this. Is that right? What have you got?
Well, we're upgrading them. All we've done is we've refurbished the calipers that were on the bike, but the discs that came with it, obviously they're second hand.
Yeah.
And then when you looked online, I think you could buy the same ones again, but for a couple of quid more, you could buy Brembo ones, and they look a little bit more modern.
So they're a fancy shape, is what you mean?
Yeah, they're fancy shape. They look a little bit more modern. And obviously all the brake lines are going to get modernised.
At the end of the day, it's all about the looks. It's all about the looks, isn't it?
It's all about the looks, yeah.
It's not practicality, it's looks.
No, it's safety, Rick.
Yeah, it's
brakes are safety.
It's safety.
Safety. It's all about the safety. So we've got them here. Brembo ones. They've only just arrived.
Nice.
There you go. So I think they look far nicer than what you'll see in the video on the actual what's on the old wheel at the moment. They're nice there, I think. And it's safety. It's safety.
Happy days. Right, so is there anything else you want to talk about quickly, or is that it?
That's everything, innit?
Right, should we leave it there?
Leave it there.
So yeah, once again, thank you very, very much for tuning in. If you want to see more about of this bike, then subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon down below. That way you'll be notified when a video comes up. So obviously, if anybody's got any questions about this bike, anything you want to know, or if you've got any suggestions, you want people's suggestions, don't you?
Yeah, anyone out there following bike builds and got any advice or suggest? Yeah, I'm all ears. Yeah.
And I'm sure you're up to any constructive criticism, aren't you?
Yeah, up to anything. Yeah, don't bother me. I'm happy. Always learning.
Yeah, so fire your comments down below. So yeah, thank you very, very much for tuning in, and we shall see you in the next episode. Thank you. See ya.
Bye.